It's time for How to Grow It with Keith Funk, garden expert, author, radio and TV garden show host. Keith and his guest garden pros are here to help you with all your lawn and garden questions. You'll have the best yard in town thanks to How to Grow It with the pros.
Hi, I'm Keith Funk and the host of How to Grow It with the Pros. It's that time of year again when the grass is green, the flowers are blooming, and everybody wants to be outside enjoying the lawn and garden. I'll bet your lawn is probably getting the most use and abuse with summer parties, volleyball games, heat stress, and probably occasional missed applications of water or fertilizer. It just so happens that today's question from Scott in Dallas is all about lawn care, and he'd like to know more about why his yard, his lawn, is not as dark green as he'd like it to be. Probably not as dark green as his neighbor's grass, and that's always an issue for a lot of people. I asked the top lawn care expert from Revive, John Eaton, to join me today, and together we're going to get to the root of Scott's problem. Thanks for coming in today, John.
Thanks for inviting me, Keith. My pleasure.
Now, tell us a little bit more about Revive.
Revive's been a lawn and garden product for, 30 years now, helping homeowners like Scott with this problem and many others. Revive's organic soil treatment, as we call it, has organic matter to feed the microbes in the soil, releasing more nutrients to that plant, giving Scott that kind of color I think he's looking for. But more importantly, we add chelated iron to that product of Revive to give that instant color pop. It's also got surfactants, wetting agents in it to get that water deeper into the soils.
Well, now, wouldn't you agree, Scott's issues aren't all that uncommon. During the summer, people use and abuse their lawns like crazy and don't always give it everything that they give it all the attention that they should. And that's exactly why I invited John on the show today, because Revive will help with not only watering the lawn and keeping it healthy and happy, but also getting that nice dark green color. A properly fed yard is the key to healthy grass and a beautiful color. And with Revive, it all starts with the roots.
And you can't expect homeowners to be soil scientists out there. They have to have a helping hand, and this is where Revive, with many different ingredients, can take care of many different problems. And iron is the key here. Iron doesn't grow the plant, it makes it dark green. And that's what will do the trick for Scott, I believe.
Well, and that's going to be true for not only clay soils, but for even sandy soils. It works just as well.
Definitely. You got a lot of water passing through that sandy soil very quickly, very rapidly, probably leaching out and dispersing that fertilizer that Scott did from several weeks ago, and now it needs to be refed.
Now, in my mind, you've got really two products here. You've got the liquid Revive, which helps get moisture into the ground and keeps water from running off.
Yes.
And that's great for compacted areas and slopes and so forth. But you've also got a dry granular fertilizer product with all the benefits of the Revive liquid.
Yeah, the Revive granules are a great addition to anybody's lawn care mix, with the addition of having an organic chicken manure-based fertilizer granule that we attach our ingredients to. It's giving you a low burn potential, but a great organic fertilizer, slow release to give you the best, greenest lawn in the neighborhood.
Now, one of the big reasons for lawns not to have good color is water. Because if the water's not getting into the ground and not carrying the fertilizer down with it, the grass isn't going to be able to green up.
You can fertilize all you want, but without the effective and proper watering schedule, you're defeating the purpose there. So watering is going to be certainly an important key there.
Well, especially those of you who have irrigation systems or underground sprinkler systems. And I'm sure they have a lot of those in Dallas.
Definitely.
And you need to check them on a regular basis. You need to make sure that your heads are covering the areas that they're supposed to cover, putting down the water you're expecting them to put down. You'll have to measure that.
Yeah, we do a lot of different home and garden shows, and we've given out lots. It's literally thousands of these little catch cans or rain gauges, if you will, to aid homeowners in that process. And if they didn't see us at the last trade show, come see us at Facebook and our page, and I'm sure we can get you a rain gauge if that's what you really need. But it's a great way to measure your system, see how much you're watering, make sure you're doing the right amount.
And also check your clock. You know, many people have a tendency to just set it and forget it.
That's right.
And that doesn't work. I mean, the seasons change, and so do water requirements.
Yeah, a lot of soils can't take as much water as we put out there at any one time. So they need to check their system, how much they're watering, check their local extension agent. They'll be able to direct them how much water for their grass type for that time of year is necessary.
So by combining the fertilizer, the iron, and the wetting agents, and proper watering procedures, you can get your yard to be the darkest, greenest, most beautiful lawn on the block.
And research has shown with our studies with Revive, they can water 30-40% less often with the use of Revive.
So they can even save money.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Well, I really appreciate you coming down to the studio today. And Scott, I hope that helps answer your question how to get your yard nice and dark and green and beautiful and better than the Joneses next door. John, anything else you want to add to this before we go?
Sure. I'd like to invite the listeners to the website, revive.com, or our Facebook page. They can search our name, Revive Organic Soil Treatment, and see and learn more. There's lots of testimonials, before and after photos they can compare to their own yard.
That's fantastic. Thanks again for coming out today, and thank you all for listening.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of How to Grow It with garden expert Keith Funk. Get all your lawn and garden questions answered listening to Keith and his Garden Pro guests. You'll have the best yard in town thanks to How to Grow It with the Pros.